Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. Manchester City won, Liverpool won, and I did do a video yesterday saying Liverpool are back, and looking at the reaction to that game today, I think you'd have to agree with me. Liverpool stay a point behind Manchester City, but they've now been to the Etihad, they've been to St James's Park, they've been to Brighton, they've been to Spurs, they've been to Chelsea, and they're a point off the top of the league. This is now a platform for Liverpool. I think we saw today that Man City are still the elite club in England, and no one would be surprised by that statement. But what we also saw is character to get a result when you don't necessarily play well. My big concern today came true, that this game just didn't live up to the billing. And the reason it didn't do that is because we've just had an international break and we're playing at 12:30 on a Saturday after an international break when neither of these teams have got any fluidity or chemistry and hardly trained together. And you see a game like that that's very scrappy. And a draw is the best result for the Premier League. I'm so happy about it. But it will feel more like a win to Liverpool and more like a loss to Man City, for the simple reason that Man City were the better side. Not massively, but they were. It was at the Etihad, and they were leading with 20 minutes to go. For Liverpool, they've shown character, they've shown unity, they've shown strength. It was a sloppy goal to concede. Trent had a part in that, but then he goes and gets the equaliser. So for Liverpool, mentally, they'll come out of that game in a much better place than Man City, who've just drawn their last two games against Chelsea and Liverpool and are leaving the door open to competitors. I still think Man City maintain and retain the favourites tag, and that's absolutely without question. But they weren't as smooth. I think in the final third, they had a lot of opportunities in that second half and didn't score. It was Liverpool who scored. So Pep will be frustrated with that, whereas Jurgen Klopp will look at that and go, look, Man City have won the title for the last few years. They've just won the treble. They are the best team in the league, arguably in the world. Obviously, probably in the world, and we've just been to their ground, shown character, grinded out a result, and we look at our next few games and we go, well, look, we've done the hard bit there. Our next big game is going to be against Arsenal in a few weeks. The interim of that is going to be beating Fulham at home next week, beating Sheffield United away, beating Crystal Palace away, and then we've got Man United at home, and then we've got Arsenal at home, and that's where Liverpool will be looking at. Win their next three games. They're not going to, that gap doesn't get any bigger to Man City, and that's what happens. Big contentious talking points, not really. I don't think so. I think that when you look at what happened in the game, we didn't really get any big VAR talking points, and I think that's huge. I'm just going to say it. At 1-0, Man City score a goal where Alisson goes up in the air and he gets a foul on the arm. If I've got a ball to hand, which I should be able to grab one here. Very, very simply, if you've ever played in goal and you've got your hands up above your head and you're catching the ball like that and somebody pulls that arm down, it can take the ball out of your hand. Whether it's soft or not, goalkeepers catch with their hands. If somebody grabs their hand, it's a foul. It's the same thing in the box when a striker's running into the box and somebody kicks their leg and they go down. Soft or not, footballers kick with their legs. Goalkeepers catch with their hands. He grabs his hand. The referee gave the foul on the pitch. They're never turning it around and saying it's too soft. It would be way too contentious. The only discussion point there is if the referee had said it's a goal. And then I think it might have stood. But the referee gave the foul on the pitch and VAR is not there to turn around those sort of things. Never in a million years. So, look, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic result for the Premier League. I think that Manchester City will still be the favourites and still have Kevin De Bruyne to come back and still are a very, very good team and still had a lot of the possession in that game. But the interesting thing is, and I think the thing that Pep Guardiola will fear the most is, Liverpool are a point behind us. They're a work in progress. Yes, we've got Kevin De Bruyne to come back, but where do Liverpool drop off? We've just listed the amount of hard games they've had away from home. If they then go and beat Man United and Arsenal at home before Christmas, they're still going to be a point behind Man City, even if Man City win all their games. Second half of the season, things ramp up for City. They've got latter stages of the Champions League, whereas Liverpool aren't even in the Champions League and may well prioritise their league run. Do Liverpool look like title contenders to me at the moment? No, but I did say on the podcast on Tuesday that I predicted Liverpool would be top at Christmas, and I got laughed at for that. But I do think that there is this momentum with Liverpool, that they're just growing. at the start of the season, I don't think they looked like title contenders, but they got that result against Newcastle. They were unlucky against Spurs. I thought that there has been times this season where the results might not have gone their way that they did. And today is just exactly the sort of thing. And do not underestimate the fact that Man City were the better team, but Liverpool got the draw. And do not underestimate that there is an advantage when you're at home. If that game's at Anfield, then Liverpool have more momentum than Man City naturally because of the crowd. So Man City had that momentum. They had that home game after an international break. And that's what will be disappointing Pep Guardiola. As I say, for Jurgen Klopp, there's loads to be positive about. They didn't play that well. They weren't as composed as they could have been. But the goal they conceded was a catalogue of mistakes. Alisson's kick out, Trent's, poor tackle, Van Dijk and Matip allowing Haaland to get 2 touches before he shot, and then Alisson probably should have done better with the save. So the goal they conceded was easily preventable if just one of those 5 players had done their job. So they made a mistake on the goal. There wasn't really any other clear-cut chances for Manchester City I can think of. There was a brilliant save from Alisson from a Foden shot from outside the box. But yeah, Liverpool weren't at their best, but they can improve. There's more positives for Liverpool than there is for Man City. But look, Man City will still be the favourites as far as I'm concerned. And I think that Liverpool, it's about momentum. Their next big challenges are to win their next 3 games against Fulham and Sheffield United and Palace. And then that double header before Christmas against Man United and Arsenal at Anfield. You win both of those. And I think the odds on Liverpool winning the title will come crashing down. At the moment, they're a work in progress. Man City are the real deal, and they've gone there and got a point. And for the league, it's great because we've seen Man City lose a couple of games this season, albeit without Rodri, but we've now seen Man City with Rodri draw with Chelsea and draw with Liverpool. And this can only be good for this league, which I think is fantastic. That's what we want to see. We want to see a competitive Premier League where we've got a really interesting title race, because I think the relegation race is going to be quite boring. But the title race at the moment, for every week that it keeps going on, is better for all of us. Anyway, get your comments in below. Do you think it was a fair result? Who do you think will be the happier out of that? Who was your man of the match, by the way? Because the TV gave it to Trent, and it was a great finish. But I actually think Man City played the better football, and just because they didn't lose the game, they drew the game. So I actually think Ake did very well against Salah and got an assist. I think I probably would give it to Ake or Bernardo Silva, to be honest. I thought he was really, really good. But they gave it to Trent. Who was your man of the match? I'll speak to you all in a little bit. Thanks for watching.